All right, Little Guardians live stream. Here we are.
Anyway, you were saying something about you were on the way over here?
Yeah, I was on the way over here listening to Rick Beato's YouTube channel because he just interviewed Butch Vig.
Oh,
So that was a fun interview. Like, I haven't finished the interview yet, but so far it's really good. Because he's talking about all his stuff before Garbage and Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana. But then, I'm at the part of the interview where they're just now talking about how he got approached by the Smashing Pumpkins to record, and then, they did Gish and Siamese Dreams. So, yeah, and I want to hear all that stuff. Having a lot of fun.
Wait, is this a book or like a podcast?
It's Rick's podcast. He puts it out as YouTube videos. I don't know if he's on other platforms as well, but they're all like video interviews. So they're in the studio with him. He's doing the interview. And not too long ago, he put out the interview with Billy Corgan too, so you get a lot of good pumpkin stories out of that one too. But I'm also really excited to hear from Butch because I want him to talk about Garbage mostly, but also how cool it was to record Pumpkins and Nirvana.
He was in Garbage,
wasn't
it?
Yeah, he's a drummer.
He was the drummer, okay.
Yeah, drummer and songwriter. We all know he didn't sing, but he's asked Shirley. But
he's not Shirley Manson?
No. Only Shirley
sense.
Is Shirley Manson. Who I love Garbage. They're one of my favorite bands growing up. Right alongside Pumpkins. Like I had all my Garbage records, Pumpkins, a few other bands. Those were like some of my top two.
Did you see Garbage is coming to Ruoff?
I saw them at Ruoff last year. They played with Tears for Fears.
Oh, that'd be a good show.
Oh, it was a fantastic show. Louis Sana and I went to it. Also, Andy, we saw Andy there. He was going with his family. But, Tears for Fears blew me away.
I've never heard them live.
I was amazed. They were by far the older band, more experienced, but I think that's what showed through in their performance was they were so what's the word? Polished? Their stage
they have done this
show.
Before.
Oh, they didn't. Well, for a long time they weren't touring and producing music. I thought there was a time where they were kind of broken up and kind of,
Yeah, I don't know.
Just not active. But they're back and they're awesome. Amazing. It was Garbage that I was actually really disappointed about. They're one of my favorite bands, and I was and I've seen them, I saw them around 2005, and it was amazing. I saw them in Cleveland. But this show at Ruoff was just I don't know, they just felt low energy. Shirley was lower energy for sure. She's maturing as a musician and an artist. She doesn't have to run around the stage like a crazy person the rest of her life. But I just remember in Cleveland, they blew me away, and at Ruoff, it was just come on. I wanted that magic of the earlier stuff. And the second half of the show did pick up, and then we were much happier about it. Louis Sana felt the same way. But, and then Tears for Fears came on and blew us away, beginning to end. I'm even the old guys are kicking ass, so just because you're old is not an excuse. But, anyway, what was I? Oh, I was trying to look for the align button. It's always weird. View, object, window? You can tell. Oh, I know. The workspace is set to something weird.
You have to go to
just
view and change your tools or something?
Yeah, maybe. Align. There we go. But I want those tools. Usually they're up top. It's just weird that they're not.
You have to pay extra for those tools.
No,
those
there's some version of this. It's the wrong workspace, I think. Photography. No. I hate workspaces. The only one that gets it right is InDesign, because then it's you have these default workspaces which turn on and off certain sets of tools, and one of them is just advanced and it gives you everything. And I'm yeah, give me that. Just give me advanced.
Yeah, the live stream isn't picking up your other window, so...
What other window?
Oh, did you have settings open?
I just have Photoshop open.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Huh? I'm pretty sure live stream doesn't see it when I click on the menu up top. And I'm looking at like image mode or whatever, like it doesn't see my little windows popping out.
Yep.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I don't know. It's so dumb.
The viewers have to pay extra to see those windows.
Yeah.
That's the premium content.
So long story short, check out Rick Beato's videos on YouTube and check out the Butch Vig interview that just came out. He's talking about how he set up his first recording studio, and I found it really interesting. How they it's basically like a concrete box with horrible acoustics, and they just tacked up egg crates and got hand-me-down equipment from churches and just started recording local bands. And as a music nerd, that just sounds fun. I can relate. That's not what my buddy's band did. They did an actual studio time. That album.
Oh, yeah. They paid for studio time?
Yeah. Or they know someone with a studio. One or the other. I mean, those Kickstarter funds were for the album, so probably paid for studio time, yeah. I know they wrote the songs using remote collaboration tools. You know, you can let go. Damn it. Sometimes you click on a thing and then it doesn't want to let go. They make, I forget what they're called, but the specific programs they use, but basically you can record something at home, send that track to a friend, kind of share it in the cloud, and everyone else in different states can edit it, add to it, and it's all in the cloud. So they basically wrote a whole album together remotely, because not all of them are local to Pennsylvania anymore.
Yeah, I've used Bandlab a little bit, which is a free program, and it has that option with different users. You can upload your track, and then they have access to it because it's all cloud-based. I don't know if you can record at the same time, but I bet.
Yeah, not live in the room together, but you could definitely record your bit and send it to them. That's awesome. What were you using that to work with Damien?
I was using that more for just quick demo stuff, but I like the interface for
Ignore City demos?
Yeah, the Ignore City stuff. More the music side.
Mm-hmm.
Because Audacity's not as good with music.
Yeah.
Well, and Bandlab is actually where I recorded most of the little instrumental musical segues, because they have a ton of MIDI effects. It's a keyboard, but you can make it sound like anything, or at least what they have on there, including drum sounds and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Technology's amazing.
Sometimes, until it takes us over.
Until it breaks. Oh yeah, I was. Do you ever see those videos that Wired puts out where it's this is tech support, and then they have some expert in some field on there to talk to you and answer your questions from Twitter? They're really fun videos. I watched one the other day that was a programming guy, and he talked a little bit about AI, and then I found another one that was an AI scientist, and he just talked about what current AI stuff can do and what the future of AI is, and everyone talks about that, the technological singularity when computers become sentient and it all goes to hell. There's some good info on there. Mostly what parts of it are just made up nonsense and what parts of it are this is going to change everything when it happens.
Yeah, it's getting there. I know they released a bunch of the beta AI chatbots that you can talk with.
Are you talking about ChatGPT has been out for a bit, but I think Google just released theirs.
Exactly.
Which hadn't been out yet.
And same with Microsoft, I think.
I said let go. Let go.
But it wants it so bad.
I know, it's so weird. What is going on? I think my computer's just tired. It doesn't want to let go. I miss the days where I just wanted my computer and Photoshop to do a thing and it just did it. Those were the days when I had a Mac. Boom! Oh. Shots fired.
If you bought a new laptop, would you buy a Mac this time? Or do you think you'd stay with Windows again?
I miss the Mac, you know? I have my PowerBook, MacBook Pro. Man, I was riding high in those days. Made me so happy. Just did everything I wanted without complaint. Until the graphics card died. Those things just go bad sometimes. I know this is so riveting, watching me make word balloons very slowly.
Well, especially when it fights you.
Yeah. We can take bets on who's going to win the fight. No one's betting on Lee. I love that Photoshop gained the ability that Illustrator and InDesign, I think, already had of doing sharp corners when you combine shapes. Like the inner corner of the word balloon where it goes to the tail. These little corners right here. You look at our old books, they're all rounded.
Oh.
Because Photoshop handled vectors really weirdly. And, of course, being a Photoshop boy, I did everything in Photoshop, even text, which everyone would scream and, tar and feather me if they heard. But Photoshop has come around. We finally have sharp corners. Hey! There's probably people saying, like, we've had them for years. Where have you been?
Ness says those are good lines.
Again?
I think, or I'm just...
I think that's what she said last time she was here. That was like, 2 weeks ago. Are you sure that's a new post?
Yeah, it's in our current chat.
Oh, okay. Hi, Ness. I need to email Ness and Greg, my friends in Cincinnati.
The lines continue to be good.
Okay, nice. Okay, now that tells me it's a real person. And not a chatbot.
I was reading a book that had a description that I think you would appreciate.
Yeah.
It said, my heart was racing like the kick drum of a Smashing Pumpkins song.
What?
Right before the solo.
Who said that?
I know exactly what that means.
That person is our age. Or slightly older. Definitely elder millennial or Gen X.
I remember the book.
What book was it?
Let me look up the author that I feel bad I don't remember his name.
Oh, okay.
But it's a book called Last Couple Standing by... I'm bad with author names. Matthew Norman.
Matthew Norman? Okay, cool.
It's a good book. It's a little predictable at times, but it's good. It's about a group of 4 couples that are like really good friends, and they all got married around the same time, but then 3 of them have gotten divorced. So the last couple standing is dealing with that.
Like wondering if they're next?
Yeah, and also all their best friends are now divorced and how that divides people. And
I really wish it didn't have to divide people.
Well, the book is kind of a comedy, so it's not super dark or serious.
Seriously introspective.
It is not. It is not breaking a ton of new ground.
Okay.
It's well written and it's funny. And there's a Smashing Pumpkins reference in it, so.
Yeah, oh, well, I'm sold. I don't need any of that other literary nonsense. Just give me the Smashing Pumpkins references.
It was a book that I thought the plot was a little, like I said, predictable, but his writing is just so good that I really enjoyed it.
I feel like that's a lot of authors these days.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just how you tell the story. Not as much is the story, amazing, I guess.
Or like super original.
Yeah, it's hard to write a lot of super original things. Like Little Guardians, which is obviously very original.
Oh, that's such a good, like groundbreaking work. Legendary.
Breaking. No one had ever put pictures and words together in book format until Little Guardians.
We invented the visual storytelling medium.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Bold claims from Ed Cho.
No one really thought to do it. Because there was books with words before.
Oh, yeah.
And there were
lots
some
of
books
those
with just pictures, but never
dozens.
Dozens
of those. Yeah. I just wish I had a laptop where the fan didn't kick on for 90% of...
Did the Mac do that ever?
A little bit, but not a ton.
This.
Like if I was opening up huge Photoshop files and like also Illustrator and InDesign files and also surfing the internet and like doing 8 things, it would be like and like making this noise. But
was it your Mac that you brought to a store and they opened it up and it was full of cat hair?
No, it was this.
That was this computer. Sir, there's a cat living in your computer. That's been the problem.
Oh, Fluffy. That's where you went.
Yeah, that would slow down the
well,
RAMs.
yeah, but then we blew it out with compressed air and like, did any updates or anything that needed, and it still does this now. I mean, that wasn't it, but that wasn't helping. It was definitely making it hard for it to cool itself down. Because it was just hair blocking the vents, blocking the air vents.
He unscrewed it and it said, meow.
Anyone listening is just like, ugh, gross.
Well, you used to have cat. You don't have any cats now. Right?
No
animals.
I don't have any cats now. So, what's your excuse now, computer? You're not full of cat hair and lint. Oh well, let's draw some bandits. So what have you been up to? How's life?
That's good. Been keeping busy. Just about finished my taxes.
Nice. Yeah,
I just did.
I sent you that K1, right?
Yeah. I felt like I just did them, so I don't really understand how time is working anymore.
Oh, like you just did 2021 and now you're doing 2022.
I think
time.
I think something has messed up in the space-time continuum because it just doesn't feel right.
It's weird that it's tax season again.
Yeah.
I love Wennington's little piggy nose.
He does have a piggy nose. He's got that Chief Wiggum nose.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he has sideburns. I might need to check. Maybe I can ask my chief of continuity.
Yeah.
Does Wennington have sideburns? Survey says...
he does not.
Cool.
Or at least not big ones.
But he has the world's largest pompadour.
Yeah.
Rivaling...
Does that picture help you?
Yep. Yeah, oh, they are squared off. I had them pointy. Like, the sideburns don't go low, but they are like that.
This is another picture.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, his hair always reminds me of Johnny Bravo. Do you remember that cartoon?
Yes, I do remember Johnny Bravo. I do see the resemblance.
Oh, baby.
But again, totally original comic.
Yep.
Never before done.
Oh, and I love that I wanted his, you can see it in the sketch, I wanted his pompadour to go outside the frame.
Like over the lines of the
panel. Break the framing bounds.
Like it's coming right at you.
There we go. I'm not set on this expression because he looks kind of like annoyed and I wanted him to look surprised. At least the inking is inking smoothly.
Do you think it was just because it was messing with the shapes? It was acting...
Yeah, like the shape tool was weird, but like, I'm just using the normal brush and it's like, this is how it's supposed to behave. Yeah, it's inking really smooth. See, my computer heard me talking about replacing it. It's like, yeah, you better behave.
It was worried you were going to get rid of the new cat inside of it.
It's like, don't take Fluffy. Or not a cat, but a rat named Zach.
If you were going to get a new animal, would you get a cat or a dog?
Am I allowed to say neither?
Yes.
You're trying to make me choose.
No. You can't choose CatDog, which is half.
Both?
Yeah. Just the front half, so it never poops. Which actually...
Did they ever address that in the show?
I mean, I don't know. But that would be an upgrade over most cats and dogs separately.
Mm-hmm. You do have a cat.
I have one cat, yes.
How is Winnie?
Pretty good. She's a pretty good cat. As far as cats go.
Mm-hmm. Like, I like the eyebrows, so I don't want to redraw the eyes. I forgot my cardinal rule of draw them on different layers so that you can erase and redraw them as many times as you want. It works every time.
But I'm just saying...
I never remember.
Yeah. I'm the same when I draw.
Yeah. Wennington's so funny. He's like my favorite character to draw. And now Clit Eastwood. It will be the easiest expression to capture. Because he's always like this.
He has resting Clit Eastwood face?
Yeah. If anyone's looking at me right now, you can see me making the face that I'm drawing.
I think that's pretty common for most cartoonists, right? They kind of have to...
Yeah, it's in the guild law.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're making the expression right.
You have to emote the expression to, like, capture it and...
feel the drawing.
Yeah.
So when you see someone who really knows how to draw hands, you're like, wow, that guy must actually have hands.
That could be.
It's really hard for artists who don't.
Or
Sometimes they'll use a surrogate pair of hands. Someone will come and be their hands for a while so they can know what it feels like to have hands and then therefore can draw them accurately.
Like severed hands?
No, they'll be like... like put their arms like here, like through my armpits, and then I'll be like this, and they'll be typing for me, and I'll be like, oh, that's what it's like to have hands. Can you show me Clit Eastwood, please?
You mean Slug, right? You don't want actual
no,
Clint
I mean
Eastwood.
actually, I mean Little Guardian's Clit Eastwood. Forget what the top of his hair looks like. I love his side of head hair tufts. It almost looks like he has like this spiky hair growing out his ears.
Yeah.
I know he has the head. What? Yeah, I know he has the headband, but I'm trying to remember what his middle of his hair. Oh, it's like mostly bald. There's like little lines and little tufts. Okay, gotcha. For some reason, I thought he had like, I knew he had the receding hairline, but I thought it was more. There was more hair up there, but there isn't.
Nessa's robot double hands.
Oh yeah. Wait, Robot Devil or Robot Double?
Devil, like the Futurama episode.
Oh yeah.
Which is one of my favorite Futurama
Give
episodes.
him the clamps!
Actually, one of the voices I had in my head for Saner on the Ignore City podcast was the robot Devil from Futurama.
Yeah. That's cool. But you decided to go with Patrick.
Yeah, that guy was not available.
Well, lucky break for Patrick. He landed that role.
He did land that role.
Speaking of, are we going to get any more Ignore City?
Yeah. I actually started working on the next couple scripts, and then I've been sidetracked with other projects. But my goal is to finish writing the scripts this year, and then maybe start recording them middle to late next year.
Okay, cool.
But yes, there's more.
Ignore City Season 2.
Season 3. Well, I guess I've never really officially called any of them seasons, but we did 4, took like a year break, and then did another 4.
Was it a year?
Or maybe...
Wow.
It might have been more than a year.
Oh my gosh.
It was a while.
I didn't remember that there was that much time between...
Yeah, it was a while, because I had written 4, and then we wrote the music for 4 of them, and then it took a while to record them, And it took a while to record the music, and then edit it all. And then I started on the next 4. So it wasn't like we had recorded all the audio for 1 through 8 in one go. It was, we made 4, finished it, and then I started writing what happened to be another 4, and then finished that, and then taking a break.
Well, just the way the story flowed and how it all came to this huge climax in that 8th episode, that felt like the season finale to me.
Right.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
So I would call all that together season 1, like if I had to describe it.
Like narratively?
Yeah, narratively. Like if someone asked, I was telling someone about Ignore City, I'm like, yeah, go listen to season 1, and that would mean episodes 1 through 8.
That's fair.
But the way we record them, it would be the 3rd batch if you did a new batch. Because you were talking about doing 4 at a time. I was getting some color done on my tattoo last night, and me and my tattoo artist were just talking anime the whole time.
Which tattoo is this? Is it one you can oh, it's on your...
It's on my arm. And right now I cannot share it because it's wrapped and does not look good yet. It needs to heal. But it's of... it's my Studio Ghibli Castle in the Sky tattoo. So I got the castle from Castle in the Sky, and it's the castle and the tree roots and one of the sky pirates flying around and some clouds. And Sheeta, the main character, is kind of falling. It's from the opening scene of the movie where she falls out of an airship and she's just kind of plummeting to the earth. And then her amulet wakes up and there's power shooting out of it, and she's just kind of flying. Anyway, I've wanted a whole sleeve of Studio Ghibli references for a long time, and that's the first one I've gotten. And I had it since last July, but haven't gotten the color started until just now. Because my tattoo artist had a back injury, so it made it very hard for him to lean over and do tattoos for long periods of time. So he just kind of took 5 months off.
Ness says to sing the theme songs so she can guess.
Oh, no.
No.
Lee refuses. Just imagine the theme songs from I Died and Was Reincarnated to Master the Sword. And...
Is that the full title?
Yes.
Wow, that's a long title.
Oh, there's been this trend in anime for the last 10, 15 years.
Really,
they have long, bizarre titles that are ridiculous.
I think more stories should do that. The boy from Tatooine who got a lightsaber one day.
Yes, that is an anime.
Awesome.
That's an anime title. But also think about the Chainsaw Man opening theme. That would be a good one. And I often get My Hero Academia theme songs stuck in my head, which has a lot of good ones.
Would you consider yourself an anime aficionado?
What does aficionado mean?
Just you know a lot about it. You're an expert.
I wouldn't say expert, but I'm a really big fan. I watch a lot of anime. I think this is how his shirt goes.
Take a look. Although he could have changed.
It's got this little gold rim on his collar. Oh, it's kind of lower, and it doesn't have the rim. Okay.
He likes to show off the goods.
The chest? Yeah.
I have not been watching very much anime. Not that I've watched a ton in my life, but I just haven't really found anything good.
Mm-hmm.
But you watch most of yours on
Crunchyroll, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have Crunchyroll. Is it Netflix and HBO don't have good anime?
They do. They have some shows. Crunchyroll is just every anime almost, it seems. They also simulcast, so it's airing new episodes in Japan and then a few days later airing them here. So you're kind of watching it as Japan gets it, which we used to get anime years later.
So do you watch the subtitles?
Yeah, I do. Most of the time. There's a couple shows that I do watch dubbed. Just it really depends on if I like the American voice cast or not. I'm not like anti-dubbing, but it just turns out a vast majority of the time I'm watching subbed. But if there's a show I want to watch and draw at the same time, I definitely need English.
Yeah, that would be difficult to read while you...
Yeah, while I draw. Or work on other things.
But the simulcast ones are all dubbed?
Yeah, they're dubbed because they're coming out so fast. Like, yeah, they haven't done the dub yet. And the dub usually comes out later. You have to wait a little bit longer.
Ness says, I got Sammy hooked on an anime about high school volleyball.
Ooh, Haikyuu. Yeah, that's one of my faves. That's a good show. They're so passionate and serious about their sport. And that's all the show is about. You almost don't even see the kids in school or their families. It is literally all volleyball practice, volleyball tournaments, volleyball camp, practicing volleyball. And being really good at it. Or getting really good at it.
Are they high school?
Yeah, all high school.
Well, I guess it says high school volleyball. So that one, your story checks out.
Yep. Yeah, I know the show very well.
I was trying to trick you a little bit.
Nah.
But you have obviously watched this show.
Oh, so much. Yeah, everything that's been out. Which is, I think, 3 seasons? 3 or 4? Maybe it's even more. They're like, the last season ended, they're in the middle of I was about to say state tournament, but it's like prefecture level, which is like, yeah, regional tournament.
Ness says, I think there are 4.
4 seasons.
Concluding with 2 movies next year.
Yes! Oh my god, I've been waiting for new stuff for a long time. It's definitely been over a year since I've watched it. It's actually kind of rare for me to find anime where the main characters aren't high schoolers. That's just what they write shows for. Main characters are usually high schoolers. It's kind of odd to see adult people in anime.
Ness says it's either high schoolers or old dudes.
Sometimes there's old dudes, yeah, like Master Roshi in Dragon Ball, or like the chairman. I think he's called the chairman from Hunter x Hunter. He's like their organization's like lead guy. Yeah, there's like old guru masters and like kids. But there's a pretty good age range in Hunter x Hunter, but the main characters are kids. Way overpowered kids. So not like Little Guardians at all, because in Little Guardians they'd be like terrible at their job, you know? Like our characters, who have room to grow. In anime, they're like amazing. Like, My Hero Academia is like superheroes high school. So the kids are already fighting villains and they're still in school. I mean, they do have superpowers, but in their defense, they are highly powerful, but they're not like pros yet. Yet, like, the most dangerous villains in the world are like being defeated by them. Along with, there are active pro superheroes working that also are in the fights. There's Slug. I guess I should draw the rest of Wennington. Which isn't much. She's kind of Schlumpy. You remember Schlumpy. I'm making a lot of Ignore City references because I want Ed to make more Ignore City.
Oh. Yeah, I want to make more. We'll make more.
That was, wasn't that Nina talking about Schlumpy?
In
Ignore City?
Yes.
It was like her character was like telling the story of Schlumpy.
The maniac robot.
Yep. And it's it's the story they tell people so that they don't trust robots.
Total propaganda.
Mm-hmm. But he's also kind of like a folk hero. Like, it felt like people were kind of sad it turned out that bad. But it's like a cautionary tale, you know?
Right. Well, they're sad because the child was murdered
by
the robot.
But the story starts with the robot being beloved.
Yes.
But then betraying everybody.
Everyone.
Can you show me
Wennington?
Yeah, if you got a good shot of Wennington. I'm trying to remember his costume. I think he just has kind of short sleeves and that cowl.
I could look for a better one.
Yeah, I need another one. Like, I kind of need to see more. That one covers up the exact areas I wanted. I know he has this, like, stripe down the middle and, like, wooden toggles. Yeah. Oh, it's a double stripe. And he does have short sleeves. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah. That's a good Wennington. I actually think his body's kind of huge. Maybe it should shrink.
Oh, the opposite. Normally you think the body's too small and the head's too big.
Yeah.
So I worked downtown, and Friday was St. Patrick's Day, and
they
closed some roads for
like a parade.
The parade. So I googled the times of the parade and trying to figure out which roads were going to be closed. And the website I found for the Indianapolis parade, I scrolled down to parking and transportation, hoping to find this information, and it just said,
"Don't."
It said, subways are a great way to get around town.
What?
And I was like, what the hell? And I'm pretty sure that AI wrote that, like the whole article. Like it just pulled information from other websites.
Oh, really?
And when it got to transportation and parking, because I found the actual website that I think it pulled the data from, and the actual website says parking and transportation coming soon, like there was no information. So I think AI panicked and put in a factual statement. Subways are a great way to get around a town.
Or maybe it was... Hold on. So you Googled it.
I Googled it.
And that was one of the Google answers that came up, but it said it was on the Indianapolis website?
No, the website was called stpatricksday.org.
Oh, okay. So that could be any city.
It's supposed to, my guess is pull data for St. Patrick's Day information, and whoever moved it, I think it was AI, and it just put in a sentence that is factually true, but we don't have a subway here in Indianapolis, so. But they are a good way to get around.
Yep. I have to admit, I was surprised by St. Patty's Day.
It sprung up on you, you mean? Or?
Yeah, I just forgot it was a thing.
Yeah. Have you saved in a while?
Oh, no, I haven't. Thank you.
Well, that's what I mean about time is a messed up. Because it just was like, oh, it's St. Patrick's Day again? But I guess we're not, big drinkers. Cheers.
Cheers.
To not being a big drinker.
Yeah.
Cheers. To drinking in moderation.
I think Tree's kind of more puzzled than angry. I don't know if he's, like, gullible enough to jump to this conclusion. Do you think?
I mean, he's pretty stoic, but he's also pretty nice.
He's not going to look happy.
No, none of them should be happy.
But I don't think he's like, how dare you? At worst, he's like, I'm so disappointed. He's not angry. Although, really, none of them should be surprised because they're like, we're bandits. We stole that treasure to get it. Why should we be surprised when someone steals it from us?
Because there's honor among thieves. I guess.
Is there?
I don't know. Well, there should be.
Why? Explain to me why.
Because if not, the whole system breaks down. Why steal in the first place?
Well, I would posit that stealing is the system breaking down.
Oh. The stealing in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the schlubs who had it originally.
Yeah. The system has failed them.
Well, perhaps it's a little ironic that the people who steal don't like to be stolen from.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying it's intentional irony.
Everything's intentional. It's all written on purpose.
Deep.
Yep.
There was a re-release of Trigun. Speaking of anime.
What do you mean by re-release? Like they're remaking it?
Yeah, it's a new show. But it kind of follows the same story, I'm told. But like new animation for a new audience.
Well, that's cool.
You know, it came out originally. When it came out, we were in college, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty old from what I remember.
Yeah, like late 90s.
Yeah.
Early 2000s. Yeah, that just came out very recently.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but that's the one with the guy in red and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vash the Stampede.
Vash the Stampede, thank you.
Yeah. I was trying to think of one that you would know. That's like out right now.
Well, that's what I mean by I haven't watched a lot of anime recently.
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
Like when the live action Cowboy Bebop was about to come out, I rewatched the whole series.
Uh-huh.
I really enjoyed it. Like, still holds up.
Yep.
So well. The animated one.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty old.
I don't remember which side his little hair things are in, but we'll just wing it for now. And since
I think it's on both sides.
Yeah, he has like 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Yeah. Oh, 3 on one side and 1 on the other. Yeah. See, you like Cowboy Bebop. You like good anime. I actually never saw the live action show.
I did not hate it. I thought
a lot of people hated it.
What they were trying to do, I thought they did pretty good considering. It's one of those things like, do you have to make it? Oh, you do? Well, you at least tried to make it, you know. But I know a lot of people did not like it. I thought John Cho was awesome in it.
No relation.
No. And a lot of the story changes, well, I love the original. I kind of understood why they made some changes.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me one they did?
I mean, the biggest one is, what's his name, Jet, his partner?
Yeah.
Like, he has a kid.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's not in the anime.
Yeah, that's not in the anime. But it makes so much sense the way they do it.
Yeah, he's kind of like a dad type.
And, like, he's trying to reconcile with his ex-wife, who's seeing someone else, and they just add more to that. And again, not part of the original, but I can see why they did that. I also think it, because it got canceled pretty quickly, but I think it missed kind of a golden window of streaming, because a lot of stuff is getting canceled even if it performs well. Meaning
really?
People watch it. It's just so expensive, and they're starting to really cut costs and cut shows because they're just losing money.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah. They're saying it's like the golden age of streaming is
over.
Yeah, like, because they were trying to get so many subscriptions and draw people between Disney Plus and
Oh,
Netflix,
it's because there's so many streaming services now.
But now there's so many, and I think the investment they put in is not paying back.
Dang
what
it.
they thought, so they're starting to pull back on budget and how many things they're greenlighting, and they're just canceling things.
What if now hear me out. What if fewer shows got more seasons?
Just better quality?
Well, like there are lots of shows that are good but being canceled.
Yeah.
So like just have fewer good shows that get to run longer. But it's like they're chasing. They like throw a thing out there. If it's not immediately a smash success, kill it. Do it again. Yeah. Like do it 10 times, and like I feel like TV shows used to like, I mean, it was probably driven by good numbers, but they like got time to grow, you know?
I mean, television history is riddled with great shows that got canceled because people weren't watching.
Yeah. It really could be like the end of a golden age or whatever. But
yeah, because Firefly got canceled.
That was kind of the first one that hurt me.
Yeah.
Even though, and I say that, but it was canceled before I even knew about it.
I did not watch that when it was out. It was not on my radar.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was a couple of failed sci-fi Fox shows at the time. So they kind of, to me, they got lumped in with some other stuff. Yeah. Like, I don't remember it. And I think that may have hurt Firefly. But I distinctly remember Arrested Development, which did last 3 seasons. Like, no one was watching it, and I loved it when it was on the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that era. Then you would go get Arrested Development on DVD because you were sad that it was canceled, and you'd try to get all your friends to watch it.
I'm pretty sure I have it on DVD.
Yep.
At least the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, I did too. I don't even think I watched all 3, but I had it on DVD. I almost never finish TV shows, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, there's just a ton of shows that people talk about. And I'm like, oh yeah, I watched season like 1 and 2 of that.
But do you finish your animes?
Oh yeah. Almost exclusively.
You're just dedicated to different things.
Yeah, that's true. Man, I feel like I'm in a groove right now, drawing the...
Yeah, you're just tearing through this arm.
I mean, they're not the tightest drawings I've ever done, but I'm trying to expand my repertoire as an artist and not just go like, you know, remember it used to take me a whole week to draw a page, and now I feel like I can ink it in, you know, one sitting almost. Even though this is like, we've been going for like an hour now, and I've only done 3 word balloons and 1 panel.
Well,
it's a lot. Sometimes a panel is 1 character.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters, and you're talking, and
yeah,
I'm bothering you.
Get out of here, kid! You bother me. You said work's been pretty busy.
Yeah, we've been busy.
That's good, right?
Yeah, it's better than not having any work.
You're doing business. The bank's doing good business.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in the banking world right now. So.
Yeah, that whole like Silicon Valley Bank. Did y'all see that coming? Were you like, oh, this is not gonna end well, or?
I mean, just in general, and I'm certainly no economist, but something had to give, like with everything, with inflation. Yeah, stocks were doing pretty well, and I mean, something had to give eventually. The unemployment rate.
Yeah, but like, wasn't it that they were allowed to basically have no cash reserves on hand?
So, not to get too nerdy. Oh, Flirty Mango says howdy. That's a great name.
Hey, Flirty Mango. That is a great name.
But after 2008's collapse, there was a bunch of regulations put on banks on what they can invest their money in.
Mm-hmm.
And
then they eventually got tired of them.
The 3 tiers of banks, which is the super big ones like Chase, Bank of America, and there's these mid-tier ones, which was Symphony and Silicon Valley. And then there's much smaller local banks. And the big banks are still being regulated heavily, meaning they have stress tests and they test, how they would handle a big economic downturn. But then, oddly enough, the CEO for Symphony Bank lobbied to remove those regulations on banks of his size because they didn't need to be regulated, and
because it's hurting business.
Yeah, and the previous, we'll just say, regime of the presidency and Congress got it approved to get the guardrails off, and they could not have to deal with stress tests and all that. And well, they had some problems with crypto, with the tech industry, and
ooh, crypto was involved. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, the one of the banks had a decent portfolio in crypto and crypto companies.
Hmm.
Crypto's pretty volatile.
Yeah, it's not the most stable, right? Didn't crypto take like a huge valuation hit like not too long ago?
I mean, it's always going up and down. I mean, this stuff is just, it's impossible
to predict.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin, no one knows who made it. It's decentralized. It's not backed by any government. It's impossible to get your finger on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mostly used by criminals. So it's just...
Whoa. Really?
Oh, yeah. Like a lot of...
And like tech bros.
A lot of black market stuff is done via crypto because it's not traced through the normal money channels.
Oh, okay.
But I did watch an interesting thing on crypto. Like, a lot of people don't understand why you would want a decentralized money. But the documentary I watched talked about people from, was it Venezuela, whose government just collapsed and their money was worthless.
Ooh.
Like, we're used to a very strong economy where the American dollar is pretty stable.
And even when it isn't, the government backs it up.
Yeah, but globally, I mean, I know Greece had a lot of problems many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like there is value in a currency not tied to a government because not all governments are stable.
I wanted you to say there's value in the banana stand.
There's always money in the banana stand, as they say. Yeah, I burned the banana stand. You said there was money in it. The insurance money.
Money, Michael. Yeah. I think the best thing, I mean, other than Patrick Bateman, the best thing to come out of that show was Michael Cera.
Oh, yeah, Michael Cera.
Who, as we all know, went on to have an amazing career.
You know, I was actually listening to the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack earlier today.
Yeah, it's very good. It's got Beck on it. A lot of cool things.
Well, Beck wrote
all the Sex Bomb songs, yeah.
But yes, he's on the his demo versions are great.
Yeah, I like them.
I wish Beck would do a garage band album.
Right? He's so good. He's like, yeah, I could do a shitty band.
He's like,
I could do it better than any actual shitty band.
It's like, I'm just limited to what, 4 chords? Great. We'll just distort. Yeah, it's great. I think he'd make an awesome garage band with just like him, a bass player, and a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim was a movie that I did not like when I first saw it, but it has certainly grown on me throughout the years.
Yeah, the humor's fantastic. And if you're in bands or know what being in an independent little indie band is like, then there's a lot there for you, like specific like jokes that you would get. But you also know what the comics are.
I think part of the reason I didn't really enjoy the first time around is I was so used to the comic versions of things, and it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I was expecting to see the graphic novel, interpreted slightly differently. And at first I actually didn't like Michael Cera, but now I think he's great. Mm-hmm. But I think because I had a vision of what Scott Pilgrim would be like in my head, and it was not Michael Cera at all.
Yeah.
But I think he did a great job.
I boarded the Scott train since, it was teased that it was coming out, and I was like, oh my god. I was devouring every trailer. Because at the time I was really heavily into comics, and Scott Pilgrim was a great comic. And I was so excited a comic was being made into a big movie. That's always exciting. Man, the deltoids on this side is way oversized. Gotta fix it. I wanted it to be good, and I was kind of disappointed at its box office and critical reception. I was like, what do you all know? You just don't get it. I was like, oh no, it was I love it, but I can see other people just, if it's not geared for you, you probably wouldn't like it. And to me, it was aimed at musician cartoonists, and we loved it. Yeah.
It did not do well in the box office then, I assume?
No. Even though it has great, Chris Evans cameo.
It did. The cast on that is
casting was amazing.
Yeah.
Alison Pill.
Well, it's ironic that Chris Evans played a superhero, or an actor who plays a superhero, and he became Captain America. Many years later, like it's just.
But he's like a douche. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And as you began this part of the conversation, yes, the soundtrack is banger.
Scott, the soundtrack is good.
Edgar Wright soundtracks usually are very good. For some reason, I don't know if it's him or he just has good people picking his sound design for his movies, but
he must be into music. I think.
I think he is. Yeah. Like if I remember, it comes up in his interviews, like the songs and the bands he's been into, and they're obviously they show up in the movies. Like the influences is definitely there.
Yeah, a movie that bombed that I was surprised about was Mystery Men. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I remember seeing that on opening night and thinking that was...
Well, you're a fan of The Tick, and that had big Tick vibes to me.
It's huge Tick vibes, which I do love The Tick.
Yeah.
Am I wearing... No, I'm not wearing my Tick shirt.
I was about to say...
I'm often wearing a Tick shirt.
75% chance you would have been.
Yeah, no, it's pretty common. That's my go-to shirt. It's totally falling apart.
Yeah, I work with some people who are a bit younger and who don't know who Jeanine Garofalo is, have not seen Mystery Men, like, Paul Rubens, William H. Macy. I mean,
shovel well.
I shovel very well.
I mean, that's just the greatest movie ever made. I don't understand.
Oh, you're getting more and more into the Mystery Man love.
I mean,
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's the greatest movie ever made.
I mean, you got.
Is it really your favorite movie? Do you really like it more than Sonic the Hedgehog?
Oh yeah, it is 5 Chaos Rings greater than Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Again, Sonic the Hedgehog is the baseline of a movie that I would want to see. It cannot be worse than
Sonic.
Sonic.
But it's better. There are many that are. It's just
yes.
For you to want to go see it, it has to be better.
Yes, it needs to pass the Sonic test.
That's funny. Yeah, that's Tree. That reminds me of Tree.
His hair looks good.
Yeah, it looks real good. And I need to fill it in.
But yeah, it's Godfather, Citizen Kane, Mystery Man.
Yeah.
Those at the top.
Yeah. That tracks.
We'll have to consult the AFI Top 100 list. They've missed Mystery Men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can write in like a letter to them and let them know their mistake.
Oh, I will.
I mean, this is clearly, they must have someone new working for them.
Egregious.
Right? It's like, I know some intern probably made this mistake, but like, you really need to update. I don't think he has facial hair. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a chin beard.
Oh, he does, but it's like...
It's kind of covered by his head.
But I can put some chin beard stuff here.
That helps you.
Yeah. Oh my god, he has a soul patch too. How can I forget the soul patch? Now it looks like Tree. Oh yeah, and a sad Thabo in the background. Floppy hair pretty boy. I think I accidentally made all the bandits have the same nose, except for Wennington. They all have this like...
They have very different features, though.
Yeah. I mean, the character designs are different, but not in the nose. We still quote Sex Bob-omb, Scott Pilgrim stuff whenever we practice. We're here to make you think about music and get sad and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I think your original sketch of Thabo really captured it well.
Yeah, right?
You just gotta retrace that, or trace that.
Yeah, and I'm doing small refinements along the way.
Oh, for sure. But I think the original sketch really...
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know what I'm doing. That and I'm just, I know the shorthand.
Yeah, he's a little farther away, too. So
yeah, he has less detail.
Well, how was the last meetup? I missed it.
It was good.
Good. It seems like the Saturday ones are well attended.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we didn't have a huge numbers of people there, but we had really fun conversation, and seems like people had fun, like getting to work on their stuff and hang out with other artists.
How's Comic Book University doing? I haven't seen them in a while.
Great. Rob's doing well. He's the owner.
Yes.
He's like happy. He was really happy to see us and glad we were back. He's like, obviously, come by anytime you want to do it.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy and really nice store.
Wonderful store. There was a Pokemon trading card tournament right before we started our meetup. And
did you go in school then?
No.
Oh.
I don't know how to play Pokemon cards. But he did have to kick some of them out of the room because we got the room right after their tournament ended. And the players just wanted to hang out and trade cards and stuff. So I did feel a little bad kicking some kids out. Actually, there were just as many adults as kids.
Is the Pokemon...
It's still hot. It's still popular.
Card thing still popular?
Yep. You betcha, buddy. There's still there are people, I mean, they still play Go. Pokemon Go, you know?
Oh, I thought you meant just Go.
No, not the ancient, was it Chinese game?
I think it's Japanese.
Or is it Japanese? Okay.
Go the one where you're trying to encapsulate the other person with your stones?
It's the little black and white stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like lots of them.
Yeah, I think you're trying to surround or something. I vaguely remember playing it.
Right. It looked really complicated to me. Like,
and then Mahjong is like the Chinese chess, which...
What? I thought it's more like poker.
Oh, is it more like poker? What's
Yeah.
the Chinese chess one? There's a... I forget the name of it.
I don't know what the Chinese version is. I guess that'd be Go. No, but you're saying Go is Japanese.
I thought it was Japanese, but I may be wrong.
This is why we have Google, Ed.
Alright. Go is an abstract strategy board game. It's Chinese.
Oh, Go is Chinese.
Go is Chinese.
I was right.
Nothing moves, stones are moves.
And Shogi is the Japanese one. There was a really good anime about Shogi. I think it's called March Comes In Like a Lion. Pretty sure. But it was also like kind of really contemplative, introspective, sad. Like it dealt a lot with this kid's depression. He's like a young shogi like prodigy, basically, and like, you know, orphan, doesn't have parents. That's an anime trope right there. And pretty much is a professional shogi player, but like not in the top of his area, his tournament, like his organization. Like he's not even like a star top player. He's just okay enough that I think living off of his inheritance and living off of winnings from shogi games, he kind of just lives alone, very depressed. There's like one family nearby that like makes attempts to include him in their lives, and he's befriending their kids, and their kids are dealing with bullying at school. Like it's a lot of like really serious themes. And then you get a lot of education about the strategy of shogi.
Cool.
It's a really good show.
It's an anime?
Yeah, it's an anime. I'm pretty sure I'm right about the name of it. But I am going to Google just to see. Yeah. Yeah, it's called March Comes In Like a Lion.
Yeah, it's kind of a longer name. It could have just been called March.
It could have been. I don't know. The long titles are just what's in right now.
Yeah, that's interesting that that's in.
And it has been for a while. Like, I remember even living at my old house back on Marquee Lane, 79th.
Is that the name of an anime?
No, like, I just remember...
My old house on Marquee Lane.
I had some friends that I would watch shows with, and he kept trying to get me to watch these ones with long, crazy titles. And so I was remembering, like, oh yeah, animes had long, crazy titles for like a long time.
Well, I do wonder how many of them have been translated to be punchier. Like
by adding more stuff.
No. The like reverse. Like back in the day, the original title was longer, but we call it
something else.
Trigun because it's punchier.
Oh yeah,
I'm just using that as an example.
Oh yeah, that goes actually the way you just pointed that out. That's totally true. That goes all the way back to like 70s giant robot anime, because like we called it Voltron, but it was like Beast King Go Lion.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Cowboy Bebop was hipster bounty hunter.
Hipster-Jazz-Bruce Lee
in space.
Yeah, bounty hunter
with jazz in the background. Yeah,
with corgis.
And corgis.
Yeah.
The show.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. Ness says, I read a manga about Go, but it ended suddenly and didn't get to wrap up the plot.
No.
It didn't get to go to the end.
Bum.
Wennington's expression is pretty good.
Yeah. I'm liking how it's turning out. So the viewers at home know it is my first time drumming for a live audience at an actual venue. I have played once for a private party with a cover band, but I actually learned the songs for the Shake-Ups set all on drums, and I am really stoked and scared because it's all new stuff. I feel like Slug isn't angry enough. Thanks for the water, by the way.
Oh, of course.
I know if Kevin Costner has taught me anything, it's a precious resource.
From Waterworld?
Yeah.
Now there was a movie that I watched and said, this thing is going to bomb.
Really?
Yeah, it was awful. But anyway.
I liked it.
Really? I did not like it. He looks...
Yeah, I'm making the eyebrows angrier. And the nasal globule lines a little thicker. So they stick out more. There. That's better. Alright. I think that's a good stopping point.
Yeah, that's a lot.
The bandits are always a joy to draw. Although I like that last panel Soma is good. Oh, this looks bad.
Yeah, that's a good shorthand for the...
Oh, it's gonna be good. Okay. Boop. That's it. Go away. We're done. Bye now.